Oh hey, welcome to the Blackboard with the webcam. Holy shit. Have you seen the presentation of Mark Passio, What on Earth is Happening? It's 10 hours long, but after we watch it, you basically know the answer to how clear the evil, how transition from A to B. Suddenly, to a society that actually cares about people doing whatever they want. It's all about the freedom, and we didn't have that yet. We just been under control. The biggest culprit of that is being used against us right now is socially acceptable behavior. It's called social pressure. Yeah. Fucking hell. Is the biggest distraction, and distraction turns out to be evil. So what is the solution? Oh, this equation right here. We just subtract 9 from evil, and we get 1 point from doing that. So we keep on subtracting the 9s, right? Oh, okay, I'll explain later. But usually, you have to just understand that what I explained just is division by 9. So you get 2 points for dividing 18, right? If you divide 18 by 9, you get 2. But if you understand division, you subtract 9 2 times. So if you divide 9 by 9, it's not the same as minus 9, because you would get just 0. But for doing an action like this, you get 1 point. So that's the answer to 9 divided by 9. And any other number above that. Alright. The fundamental thing that saves everything is understanding this truth. And this is what enables us to understand what this is. What is this process? Well, this process is called care. Or actually, it's called cleaning up process. It cleans up evil, right? It cleans up the illusion, because evil is a lie. It doesn't have to exist because it's a form of violence, and all evil is a form of violence. It's the same thing, violence and evil. And the definition of violence is something that you don't want to happen for you, something that you don't want to be distracted by. Right? The distraction itself is evil, but the fact that it happens, it's inevitable, basically. But there is a way to solve it, right? There is always a way to solve a problem. If a problem is complicated, if a problem distracts you, if there is violence, there's probably a solution to how to solve the problem. You just have to understand the definition of relationship, right? And understand that, okay, that's how you solve all the problems. You just enable healthy relationships somehow. Also, you have to understand the truth is simple. So the opposite of lie is truth, right? So the way you take out away from the lie and go into the truth, which also negates evil and is the solution. So you simply simplify things. You take out what is unnecessary, so the actual value is much more easily accessible. That is what cleaning up process is all about. It's making the truth more simpler. Alright. So we have a definition of relationship. But first, let's figure out what are we being distracted from. So every time there's a distraction, you probably can ask the question why, because that's how evil gets rid of itself. You just ask a question why. You attack a person that is defending himself because he's social pressured into doing so. And if you ask why and why and why, he will give you that he's being under control. That is the fundamental truth that is possibly recognizable. That is under control, under some kind of fear, He's being distracted, basically. And once you distracted as well, he's so distracted that he is able to actually impact your life as well, to give a chain reaction of social pressure. This is how horrible this is. It just gets you in a position where you are zombified, and you zombify all the other around you from the value that they want to achieve, because that's where the value is. What you focus upon, what you care about, what you want to create. These three words are the same thing. They have the same meaning. They generate value. And it's a cool symbol. I would... well, I don't know if I created it. I would rather adopt it because it's really cool. It's like a W, an M in a mirror shape. And there, this symbol is simply formed by combining these two letters together, right? That's it. The first two letters of the word value. And if you understand, in order, there's yin going downwards, which is the letter V, and the A going upwards, so it's yan. And it's clockwise motion. It starts with yin and ends with yang, and it, it's kind of a cool symbol, right? And that's what comes out of care sometimes, just random cool stuff that is very simple, but has a lot of value, a lot of meaning. If you try to ask why is this symbol used, what kind of meaning it has, you would get my answer right here. So continuing on is understanding the school is probably the biggest culprit of social pressure ever existing. Because it has to be like in this specific timeline where a child is forming his direction in life. So right at the very start of life, I would understand that I would be making games, right? I would be a programmer. Not so clearly, but I would be making games outside with my friends. I would be the game creator. I would tell people how to basically entertain them by creating certain rules we could follow. But that's it. Interactive. It gets you away from reality into alternative testing ground for whatever you want to happen will happen. And that is one of the things that kept me away from all this negativity and social pressure. I was able to get away because I knew what I want to create. I knew what I want to do. So at the start, you're forced in the school to care about other things. Even after you know the direction you're going through, even if you might not know the direction you're going through, you still don't want to go to school, right? For some reason. So, yeah, I wouldn't even consciously, clearly know what I want to do, that this is exactly what I want to do, but I certainly knew that school was distracting me, right? It was not helping. And this is really important, to be helped to do whatever you want. That's what life is giving to you. That's the reason, right? You're just supposed to achieve your own happiness, not go to college. That's what I avoided, and I'm really happy about that. Because I have this chance, right? I have the chance to pull through and just get success, get the attention I need, get the care I need to get the value I need, so I could get rid of the distractions once and for all, to get the money, all of these distractions that I don't have yet achieved, to create full value, to just focus on programming. That is annoying, but this led me to, try to fight back. Technology, isn't it? Technology is what helps a lot to solve problems, because it's a permanent solution. once technology is in place, it only can get better most of the time. I mean, it has to be in place. It becomes easily popular because it solves so many problems that people have. So it gets really easily popular. It's very, as long as it's simple to use, it's available. So this has been our saving point, something that has been saving us at this point, and will just complete the transition, because it's kind of like the higher form of consciousness. It's something that stays in place and we can care about it, we can push it forward. And the thing is, you don't have to know much about technology to push it forward, you just have to care. That's all you have to do. You just have to show which ways you care about certain things. So a lot of art forms have been transitioned into, computer screens, into internet. Everything basically exists there. So whatever you care about will somehow find a form there as well. And the more you care about it, like, the brain works exactly the same way. The brain takes the concepts you care about the most and tries to shrink down the pathways, so everything is more efficient, basically. So that's the same goes with technology, simply trying to simplify our ability to care. And so as we are able to care more, well, simply we bring more value, and that's the whole point, right? We bring more happiness and value. So once we fully accept that there has to be no slaves, that technology can fully push us away from any violence, any control, any social pressure, that's when we're gonna, make the transition. That's the first thing that came as a solution to me, is that we just get rid of slavery, and and the way we do that, we just simply say, okay, we just need technology, right? But again, we just make things clearer to those who control technology. Even if we can't, we can still make things clearer for what is necessary, what is important for society. One important definition is relationship. The definition of relationship is something that people really need to know, but they don't, because it just is intuitive. If I ask you, what is friendship, right? Do you have an answer? Have you ever asked yourself about this? Because it's very important to know an exact definition of what relationship is. And it's simply a trade where both sides win. So if that would be you, and that would be any random outsider, you will have some kind of different values that you have been focusing upon. So you balance those values out, and that is the process of such balance is trading, right? Recognizing what the other person needs and what you need, how you express that need, and how you're able to say or make an agreement that you have no evil intentions along through the trade process, basically. This requires empathy, right? In order to care for another person, you have to know what the other person needs, what the other person wants, and so you have to empathize with him. You have to put yourself in his place and understand what he knows more about things that you don't, and what can you bring to him for value, right? That's one of those things that I've learned from oh god damn it, that I forgot. Mark Fresco, what the fuck? Yeah, Jacques Fresco. Yeah, he got translated into Lithuanian a lot. That is pretty nice, because he gave me this cool definition of what love is. It's simply an extension, right? So what you don't know, you just get extended through other person. And I can definitely say that's what I see one other person to be able to do. And just any other friend as well. It doesn't have to be love, it doesn't have to be just that form of a relationship, you know. Any kind of extension that another person is able to give you, you have to make an agreement of a relationship. You have to understand what it means, and that you will not have evil intentions. That's all there is. You will not steal. And the reason why people steal is just because they are under control. They can't empathize, because if they would put their guard down, they would be stealed from, right? I put the guard down, and then all the evil people just gonna rip off whatever they want, right? So you have to have a closed relationship, closed agreements. You have to know with another person what are you doing, and no outsider should be able to steal from you. You have to put your guard up against strangers. You must not surrender to social pressure, because that's the easiest way that people can steal from you and control you. The way you do this has the question why. They cannot hide themselves. The evil cannot hide itself. It has to show itself or show nothing and run away. If you ask the question why, you'll be surprised what happens to your opponent's shield, as they cannot lower it. You know, as they attack you, they can't lower their shield, so you have to fight back. You have to self-defend. The math is where the solution actually lies. It's kind of funny that I'm leaving it as the last thing to explore, but that's what happens. It's uncut version. I make a lot of mistakes. I make a lot of versions of this video of Blackboard, but this time I'm gonna go all the way. So one interesting thing, so care translates into value. As you care, it translates over time into value. What value is? It's power. It is time. So you save a lot of time if you just create a lot of value in your life. Have you recognized that before? And again, if you turn back, the biggest value that we have created is technology, because it permanently solves things. So if you're able to implement technology to permanently solve things, to create relationships that don't distract you, that help you focus, that is the primary reason why you would want to have a relationship, so you could focus on things that you like and people can support you. Isn't that beautiful? Alright, so what happens, you have a certain amount of value that you want to, or care that you want to turn into value. So you have time, you want to trade off, right? You want to share the value that you get and stuff like that. It's still the same thing as care. If you take value, you care more, you get more value. You have to have value to begin with, and, well, you know, in order to multiply value, you have to have even more value, and you have to be able to control that, to care for that. So again, it's a balancing process. I don't want to get into that. A lot of complicated stuff that goes out of this process of understanding how to clean evil. What is evil? All these questions you have to answer. So, you have a certain amount of value, and distractions like create this 90-degree angles. Just distract the value. The points of value just are moved. So if you look at the math, if you add 1 plus 9, so you add plus 9 to 1, it becomes 10. Nothing happened. Well, actually something happened. The 0. The 0 is a kind of symbol of absolute nothing, but that kind of means that the +9 actually moved the 1 away, and it no longer follows you where you want to focus it, right? So you basically lost something because of the distraction, and this basically symbolizes a distraction, a +9, which the opposite would be -9, right? It's simply finding the point of value and bringing it back into focus, into something, into the road of consciousness, where consciousness usually is going. So you bring it back, so whenever someone is going to go through this path, they're going to find, let's say I make a definition, I put it out there in the internet, someone will find it, they will use it, and there's going to be more value in whatever they wanted to do, whatever they wanted to learn. They will be able to achieve that much more easily, right? Because that's what learning process is just bringing in more value to yourself, so you can have this investment and you can care, externalize the value, you can create, you can care, you can focus. The horrible thing happens when you multiply by 9. So if you multiply 1 by 9, it turns into 9, it turns it into chaos, into the evil, right? What happens visually, right? It's kind of a creation of a prison. If you multiply that by 9, the difference between 1 and 9 is addition of 8. That's kind of weird. Well, that's the difference. But what happens, the encapsulation, the prison, the creation of fear, the fear happens because, like, okay, there's no value in this square, so right? It tries to hide away the value. That is what I'm trying to symbolize here. Because right here you see 8 squares surrounding that one, the 1 point. If you multiply 2 by 9, that means that you're hiding away 2 points of value, and so on. And you have to fully separate those values as well. So it's super difficult, and that's the ultimate form of chaos, basically. It's really horrible. But so the cleaning process is exactly that, is division by 9. So if you understand now, addition and subtraction is just simply moving the energy, while multiplication and division is doing the work. So making as many moves as you have to. Right, this is the actual care. This is why -9, and I would say like infinitely -9. This is the work you have to do just to clean up the shit. Just put back value into the consciousness where it could be found, and it could be easily accessed, and it's simple, right? It's there. It's not hidden anymore. It doesn't have to be. So yeah, we just count how many moves you made, and that's how you calculate how much work you have done. Isn't that so simple? Just -9 is the solution to everything, to the whole transition. And how the fuck did I mess this up? Alright, thank you guys for watching. Oh man, it's a tough one. It's the most important one, and it really changes my point of view. I really want to create those relationships now, because I understand. Hopefully you too. Hopefully I brought back some value, I clear things up, and I wish the same for you. See you guys next time. Now how the fuck do I end the video?